Hey everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world you're watching from. Our story today is the faithful servant that Jesus talked about in Matthew chapter 25. One of the things that struck me was where Jesus said, let the good people, the hardworking people, the people who actually put talent to use come into the enjoyment of their master. He said, come and share your master's happiness. First of all, he said, I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's happiness. Struck me like happiness, and part of what makes up happiness in heaven is responsibilities, right? Being put in charge over more. And it comes with the additional glory, the additional honor, that the Father gives to the one who multiplies what they are given. I also want us to be careful because there might be one aspect of your life where you are already multiplying, putting to use what God has given. And there might be the other aspect where you're not doing anything about it. Not because you think God is going to reap where He did sow, but maybe because you don't feel confident that God can multiply that thing in your hand, or you don't just think that it is a big deal. It's really very important that as believers, we don't fall into the trap of looking down on the gifts God has given us. And remember, not all these talents have to be spiritual in some sense. You don't also have to be it doesn't have to be like a ministry thing. It can even be business. And some of the talents or gifts come in the form of idea that God give you, right? He puts it in your head, but you use all the negativity to water it down until you bury it in the ground. Oh, it's not going to be much. Why don't you do it first? And then if it doesn't work, it's fine. It didn't work. You're not going to be the first to fail at something, if you want to call it failing that way. Or you're just going to learn how to do it differently next time, or how to do it better. But you will never learn if it's still in the ground of your heart, buried right there. I tell the story of how the Lord restored me back into writing. I got discouraged, and I just noticed that my flow blocked. And it was because I got discouraged, right? And then I go into church one day and they were talking about the talents. And the Holy Spirit just kept saying, I'm talking to you. I was hearing him say, I'm talking to you. Where is the writing gift I gave you? I told you you're my scribe. Why are you concerned about selling or not selling? Well, he was just talking and talking. I just started crying. So after the service, they said, come out to be prayed for. And I just jumped out. And the lady she just prayed with me and just said, look, she began to confirm the things the Lord said to me without me having to tell her this was the issue. I just told her that I told her I have been blocked, from writing because I was discouraged. I didn't go into detail or anything. And the Lord began to use her and start saying, you're my scribe. Take your eyes off the sales and just document what I share with you for this generation and the next. Just obey and all of that. And she prayed for me and I got back, and that's how some of the princes came. Before you know it, books and books and books. And by the way, I had to take a month break last month in May to work on the conference paper that you guys heard about and all of that. So I'm going back to writing this June by God's grace, God helping me. So it's one of the things that we need to have in our mind, that sometimes discouragement can be that ground where our talent is buried, and it is a dangerous place to be. I saw how it can really ruin something precious God has given. So I would like you to have a think about your life. I want you to make up your mind that you're not going to bury anything, especially ideas that God gives you. You're going to try all of them and believe God to bring His increase. So check your heart right now. What is that thing, that idea? My emphasis today is even idea, not necessarily your talent, because we bury a lot of ideas by second guessing ourselves. You have to believe that God, who gives grace, is willing to help you. The guy with the 5 talent, if he didn't go out there to put it in faith, to put it in use, he wouldn't have yielded another 5. Do you get me? The guy with the 2, if he didn't put it to use, he wouldn't have yielded another 2. The guy with the 1 just buried it. His reason was he felt his servant, his master, was wicked. And your reason might not be because you feel like God is wicked, because you're doubting the potential of the idea. Ideas are seed. You think, oh, it's not going to work. I don't have what it takes. I don't have the confidence. I don't know anything. Oh, well, but God brought the idea to you. Why don't you trust him to guide you on how best to do whatever it is he's asking you to do? Go get to work, okay? Bless your heart. I'll see you in the next one.